Alright, so here's Onua, the Toa of Earth. So let's just take a quick look at articulation. I don't want to go super extensive because this is not going to be individual reviews over every single figure. As you can see, articulation is fairly limited compared to later Bionicle models. No articulation for the knees or elbows, but it does have that nifty little gear function, which I'm really glad LEGO decided to bring that feature back in 2015, which is really cool. It really does harken back to these originals. Man. I'm gonna have to say, also the favorite of all the masks, definitely the Picari. In my collection, the Picari's the most common of the Toa Mata masks I have. In fact, I have a number of Picari Nuva as well, from Onua Nuva. I don't know how I got. I don't really know how I got so many, but they're really cool, so I have no reason to complain. But there he is. There's Onua with his cool little claws that he can use to dig through the earth. It's built this way, but what I like to do for digging, just change the orientation of the claws so that it actually looks like he's digging. So then, there you go. Yeah, sorry, the gear's a little squeaky, just a little dusty. They've all been up on display. And actually, one more thing before I move on to Lihua. The first, like I said earlier, the first two Nuva that I got were Onua and Lihua. But when I went on to sites that I ordered these sets from, I ended up actually getting Onua and Lihua first as well. So, you know what, why not break the tradition? So, I actually ordered Pohatu and Gali before I ordered Onua. I mean, Lihua. My apologies. And, well, Lihua came in first, which was a bit of a surprise to me, but you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead with the new 2015 Bionicle sets by Onua and Lihua first. Again, just because of tradition's sake. So let's move on to the next Toa. Now, here is Lihua, the Toa of Air. So, this is an interesting build compared to Onua. With Onua, his gear functions worked in both arms. This time around, there's only one gear for his arm with his axe. The other arm is put on one of these little pins that have no friction points on them, so this one just really flops around. Which is a little unfortunate, but due to the construction of this arm, it would have a hard time articulating. So, oh well, that's fine. Again, lack of the articulation in the elbows and knees, but it's still really cool to have these guys, you know? And, yeah, that actually have one of these little hand parts in it with extended little parts compared to some of the other Toa. And really the build is basically the same. I think all of them, yeah, all of them have these same lower legs, just either down like this or upwards like it was on Onua. With these little, you know, these parts being down or they'd be up. Just varies. But I really like the Miru as well. I literally never had the Miru before until I got one from... Actually, the first time I got it was with this set, yeah. And then I ordered another one from Bricklink as well. But that's it for this guy. Let's move on to the next figure. So, here he is, Pohatu, the Toa of Stone. And yeah, this guy's really cool, I have to say. He's definitely up there with my favorite of the Toa. So I think it's really neat that they included this little stone with him. I mean, you know, just to add a little bit more of a new play feature. Speaking of play feature, the different orientation of the torso. A little interesting. You could just, you know, kick the stone. They flipped the Toa Mata body upside down to give him that swinging leg, the kicking leg. As you can see, only one of the legs are moved. The other one is set in place. I'll have to show you how that's constructed real quick. Just catch that. There you go. It uses one of these little parts. It's got the axle hole through the bottom and through the side. So, then you just take that longer part, place it up in there, and then it'll just fit right in there. And that's how they did it with some of the other Toa as well, except it was with their arms, so that the arm doesn't move. So there you go. So, and his arms are pretty unique, but I like it. He's got the little ball pieces on his shoulder this time around, and he's also got these pins on his legs. And just looking at this set, you can tell he's got the biggest piece count out of all the Toa. Which, again, I'm sure that those parts are used for the Toa Keita. Which is nice, though. And again, that cool little stone just included. And I really like these foot editions in tan, and I think that's the only time we ever got them in tan. And also the heads connect a little different. It wobbles around a little bit, but oh well. If you just, it's like he's looking down to kick the boulder, or if you want him to look up, you just tilt it backwards, and he's got good stability. Very cool, very cool. Let's move on to the next Toa.